today, back at the old office with the sweet tea, I've got a lesson on you how to get real smooth legato runs. So, that's something that I definitely incorporate into my playing lots and lots and lots. I love the sound of a really nice played legato line. So, if you, do not know what a legato lick is or anything like that, it's pretty much just a bunch of hammer-ons and pull-offs in the most basic form. I can't remember what the actual definition is, but it's like if you played a lick like this, you're picking it. A legato lick would be like that. So the first trick is to really take your time on your basic exercises. I'm not really going to give you any of those. I'll show you a couple, but I'm not going to really break them down. Just your licks that are kind of like that kind of a thing. Alright, there I'm just doing 12, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. And that's one of the first ones I ever learned. I think it's a Steve I one. I would just do it all over the place. And just kind of move around with that one. But what you want to do with those exercises is really make sure that you have a strong attack on the strings, because first off, the most important note is your first note that you play. So if you start off on a bad note, a lot of times if you don't have a strong enough hammer on and pull up, you can't pull that lick out of the gutter, kind of. So I've done a lot with legato, so I would say I have a fairly strong hammer on and pull off, to where I don't really need to. I don't usually pick the strings whenever I'm changing strings. So, like I said, to take those and really make sure that each note sounds the same and it's strong. And even if you have to at first exaggerate the amount of effort that you're putting onto hitting those strings, just to get that fluid motion down. And this is where playing with a metronome really comes in handy. I deleted the app on my phone, but a metronome really helps with that one. And make sure that you use all of your fingers for it. So if you have to just stay in one position like this, and just keep working on it up to speed. And just keep running back and forth between those. And that'll really, really help. So I do have a lick for you that'll kind of get you going with the legato stuff. But like I said, really just take your time, focus on getting real smooth and clean, because there's nothing worse than a sloppy legato. Let me do one here. Like the notes just, without that pick attack there, they really, really just kind of like fade out into nothing. You really want to just have a strong, attack. And the second thing I would do is work on multiple strings. So once you maybe move up, stuff like that. It can really help getting you to where you're moving across the strings, because we're obviously not just going to play single string lines all the time. So once you've kind of got those mastered, is then run through those exercises inside of your scales versus doing the chromatic-y kind of stuff. So just take whatever scale you know best. I use, E Aeolian constantly, so that's probably one I would go to. And then I would venture into like Locrian and stuff that I don't use very often. So once you have all those done, sorry, I gotta keep watching the clock for my next student. What you want to do is just work on really like honing in as far as timing goes, because you'd be surprised how much rhythmic aspects there are to a legato. Because you don't just want to be like, I don't even know if I can play legato fast, but like that all the time. You really want to have like a flow to it, kind of. So you stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the lick now. So this is the lick we're going to be messing around with. Again. Now the good old key of C major. So what we're doing is I'm sliding into this 13th fret on the high E, pulling off the 12, pulling off the 10. Then without picking, I don't pick any other note other than that first one. And then I go to the B and I do 13, so I go. So it's going to be a hammer-on from nowhere, then 13 pull off 12, pull off 10. Same thing on the D with the hammer-on from nowhere, but this time you're going to 12, 10, 9. On the D, it's also 12, 10, 9. On the A string, you're going to do 12, 10, 8, slide down to 7, hammer on to 8, hammer on to 10, pull them back off, hop into the low E, 10, 8, 7, 10, and on your root. And this kind of a run will work in A minor as well, or E Phrygian, something like that. But yeah, that's just kind of a little trick to getting your smooth legato runs. And you can do that with any of them. Like this is just a real common C major shape. But do it with your other ones. I mean, with any of the shapes. So there you go, new lick, run on!